Hi guys, today I'm reviewing the 2013 Ford Focus. The Focus has come a long way and it's very stylish in 2023, but when the Mark III generation came out, Ford was selling this in the millions. So the real question is, are these that good value for money? Well, let's find out. The model variant that I've got on test today is a 2013 Ford Focus Zetec with a 1.6 litre diesel engine, producing about 114 brake horsepower and 200 pounds-foot of torque. 0 to 62 times are around 10.8 seconds and it tops out at 120 miles per hour. So all in all, a good car for a German person because 120 miles per hour top speed is all you need for the Autobahn. In terms of price and running costs, Kazim, the owner of this car, managed to buy it for 2.5 grand on Facebook Marketplace, which is another bargain of his, as these cars on Auto Trader are ranging anything between 4 to 7 grand, so he's an instant profit right there. Anyway, the road tax will cost you about £20 per year as it emits 109 grams a kilometre of CO2. It's also in insurance band 16E, which I have no idea what that means, but given it's a low number, it sounds like it's going to be cheap insurance. And finally, fuel tank capacity in this car is about 53 litres, and from that fuel tank it returns you about 53 miles per gallon on average. Bear in mind, this is based on real world driving by the owner. The Focus is about 4.4 meters in length and 2 meters in width. Last week we had a Peugeot 308 on the channel and that is slightly smaller in length in comparison, but this in person does look a little bit bigger. The Focus also weighs about 1.2 tons, and once again, in comparison to a Peugeot 308, it's about 50 kilograms heavier. A lot of manufacturers only sell their cars in certain countries and not the other, but Ford with the Focus sold it worldwide. Therefore, their designers had to design it to ensure that it fit in with every culture and that every culture actually liked it. And I'll be honest with you, they did nail that, because tell me a demographic this car doesn't fit in with, unlike a BMW. Moving around the back of the Focus, and let's talk about the boot space of this car. You roughly get, oh, that is heavy. God, 316 litres of space with the rear seats up and about 1,100 litres of space with the rear seats down. And that is as interesting as it gets in the back of the Focus. Now let's talk about something else. In terms of the rear seats, you can just see it's typical Ford. I've got plenty of space in the back of it. I used to own a Mark 7 generation Ford Fiesta as my first car, and that car had plenty of space in the rear seat, so you can see it's carried forward into this car as well, so 3 people in the back of this could fit easily. Now, one quirky feature in the back of the Focus is, I'll show you right now, you can raise the seat base and fold this all the way down so it's nice and flat. And now let's move over into the interior of the 2013 Ford Focus, and you can see by my seating position that I'm not very excited. It is a very boring and dull interior, but after 113,000 miles, which this car has done, it is actually pretty decent in this car for 2.5 grand, guys. For 2.5 grand, how can I be complaining? This is, yeah, no, it's a good interior for 2.5 grand, let's put it that way. 2 things that I'm not a fan of the interior of the Ford Focus, and one of them is there's literally no storage in this car for some odd reason. And the second one is the interior lighting is so awkward in this car. It's just one light. That is, yeah, not a big fan. Anyway, in terms of the things that I do like about the 2013 Ford Focus, and one of them is the gearbox, the gear shift. It's actually quite nice. And to put it in reverse, you do lift it, which is very intuitive, and the position of the handbrake. Many cars just put it over here, and it's really long. This car's nice and concise as the car moves. Anyway, now let's go for a drive. I'm buzzing to get this out on the road. Right guys, now let's go for a drive in the 2013 Ford Focus. And first off, I've got to give a big shout out to Kazim for lending me his car so I can do this review. He's given me a bunch of cars to film, so I got to appreciate that and give him a massive thank you. And if you're wondering how I get insured on these cars, well, I use a short-term insurance provider called Cover. I will leave the link to that in the description box below. Anyway, back to the Focus. How am I finding it? It is very smooth and extremely economical. I'm getting 53 to the gallon in this car, and a full tank gives you 514 miles of range. Holy schmoly, that is a lot. This car does not burn fuel at all. Now, when I did say there was no wear and tear on this car, I have noticed a few bits. For example, seals. This seat is starting to wear a little bit. I mean, there is a bit of minor paintwork damage on the exterior, but you know what? I'm complaining too much for 113,000 miles. In terms of the diesel variants, they do have a dual mass flywheel as opposed to the petrol variants that have a single mass flywheel. Now, I'll be honest with you, go for the petrol variant. It's more suited to the Focus, and yeah, it's just a better car with the single mass flywheel, I would assume, right? Or am I being stupid? I don't know, let me know in the comment section down below. In terms of acceleration, let's put it down, a few gears. Yeah, you can see it's a little bit non-existent in this car, but that's okay. That's okay. What's it like on the dual carriageway? Well, we have just entered one, and let's get up to 70. There we have it, 6-speed in this car, 6-speed manual. Manual's great. The manual is bang on. A lot of road noise coming from, it's just the mirrors especially. Because the mirrors are so large and the visibility is quite good in this car, I could hear the wind hit the mirrors. It's actually that noticeable. Anyway guys, that's a little brief walk around and review of the 2013 Ford Fiesta. Let me know what you guys think of this car. I'm quite a big fan, I must admit, and I do like it in black. And it is a big step up from the Ford Fiesta, the Mark 7 generation Ford Fiesta, if you want to put it that way. Yeah, and I'll leave it as that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.